Welcome to the podcast, voted one of the best in the market research industry 2 years running, 2019 and again in 2020. This is Research Business Daily Report, the only daily research news video, and we've been that way for the last 10 years. Now, RBDR relies on viewer support, and we'll tell you at the end of today's RBDR how you can pitch in at patreon.com/RBDR. My name is Bob Lederer, and I'm in my 26th year as the respected voice in market research. The continuing series of inaccurate pre-election polling in recent years has damaged, or at the very least undercut, the research industry's image, its credibility, and its standing, and that's on a worldwide basis. Look, polls are the most visible, oft-repeated examples of the work done by people in research. After all, with that in understanding, what's the public expected to feel about research in general when they see poll after poll missing the mark? As a reporter, I found myself always needing to ask pollsters what's going wrong with their profession. Why do polls over and over again show flaws in their results? And when I pose the query, most pollsters, admittedly, hem and haw, they talk in circles, they don't offer a direct response because very much the case right now, there really isn't a specific reason. Pollsters know there is no single answer. And recently I read a New Yorker article entitled, "Why Was the New Jersey Gubernatorial Race So Close?" Now that happened in November, where the incumbent won in a very close race after polls showed him winning in a breeze. What I saw in the story was not a novel answer, but it was an answer that had a novel rationale behind it. Writer Eric Latch's intensive interview and feature story featuring Danny Franklin, the longtime pollster of re-elected New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, rolled out a highly complex issue. Franklin talked about late-breaking surges in turnout, specifically among one slice of the electorate. Quoting Franklin, "When a wave breaks on one side of the aisle, polling can miss it." And he added that, quote, "It's more likely to happen in an off-year election, a midterm election, because in those years with lower turnout, slight shifts in the electorate can have a really big impact." Franklin further explained if political science knew what created a late break, well, elections would be very different. It's like a wave in the ocean. What creates the break? In other words, what is that hard-to-detect impression or belief for a slice of the electorate at the end of the election that makes the difference? Franklin disclosed how hard it is to measure the size or the energy behind a wave when it happens. Now, this sounds so elementary, but one of the things that Franklin said he learned early in his polling career was the necessity of asking a single question that needed to be answered. But Franklin asked, "What's the question?" which he said is not simple and, in fact, something very dynamic. And that crucial question probably should have been asked. In fact, it should have been asked by the pollster during his polling. But he doesn't find out about that need to ask that specific question until after the election happens. And finally, Franklin stated, "That's how we can mismeasure the scale and size of a wave, and therefore the election." That's a wrap on Research Business Daily Report for today. As we mentioned at the start of today's video, we hope you'll become one of our supporters, what we call an RBDR Patreon supporter, because our video series is viewer-supported. An RBDR Patreon supporter agrees to provide a monthly contribution, whether you're an individual or a company, and you can help us maintain the excellence of this report and its continuation. And what can we do to earn your support if we haven't done already? Well, we hope that the fact that you're watching today or once in a while will convince you that the information we're providing is new and unique and valuable enough that you can pass it along internally and even externally to friends and peers and other businesses. So if you go to RBDR's Patreon page at patreon.com/RBDR, you can select whatever the level of support is comfortable for you, And whatever you do decide to do there, we thank you very much. We hope you have a good research day, and we will welcome you back here tomorrow. And until then, please stay safe.